So I'm Sean Krakiwsky. I'm the CEO and founder of Nanalysis Scientific Corporation. We're trading on the TSXV under ticker symbol NSCI, OTCQX, NSCIF, and on the Frankfurt under 1N1. We're positioned to be the global leader in MRI machines for industrial applications. I'm sure you all know what an MRI machine is, and hopefully you're saying to yourself, what does he mean by industrial applications? And I'll be happy to layer on that as we go through the presentation. It's our forward-looking statement disclosure. So essentially what we've done is we've miniaturized the technology that is in an MRI machine. Three main sort of modules in an MRI machine would be the magnet system, the electronics, and then the software. And the magnet system is the one that's the hardest to miniaturize, but the electronics as well. And then what we've done is we've applied it to industrial applications where, you're not imaging a human body and a radiologist looking, for cancer or abnormalities, but rather you're imaging an egg to see if the egg is, male or female, or you might be looking at a lithium brine pool to see how much lithium is in it. And so when you use MRI for industrial applications like that, the scientists refer to it as nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So that's what we've done. We've got proprietary products that we've been selling into the marketplace for years. And rather than it being a giant MRI machine, that weighs as much as a car or a small truck, it's about the size of a toaster that you can pick up and move around, put in a mobile lab, or whatever the application requires. Here's a look at some of our customers. So, you might think, well, who do they sell these machines to? Well, we sell it to companies like DuPont and Hitachi and Albemarle and so on and so forth. We also sell to like tiny little two-person biotech startups or a lot of government labs as well. We've sold over 800 of these machines, so we're well past the sort of $50 million kind of revenue stage, not on a yearly basis, but cumulative. And we're really poised to see some explosive revenue growth on a year-to-year basis at the present time. So our headquarters is in Calgary, where I'm born and raised, and we have our manufacturing here, our corporate headquarters, our corporate marketing, so on and so forth, about 60 employees. And then we have our European headquarters in Strasbourg, which is just right on the Rhine River there between France and Germany, in a pretty industrialized area. We sell direct in markets like the United States, Canada, Germany, and then in international markets like Japan or Indonesia or Argentina, we sell through a network of dealers that we set up over a number of years. We're facing a huge and growing market opportunity. We have a strong sales backlog for a new product that we just launched, a very strong balance sheet, and we're ready to scale our business right now. So here's a look at the market opportunity. So, we're in the scientific instrumentation space. Some people prefer the term sort of test and measurement. But if you look around you, everything in the modern world is tested and measured for innovation, for safety and quality, but also for economic efficiency. On the safety side, we've seen a little bit of this with the coronavirus issue and the importance for testing of that, but it's also for foodstuffs and for materials such as paints, advanced materials, and so on and so forth. And so the market opportunity that we're facing right now is approximately $1 billion per year. And we think there's several growth drivers to that. And the drivers that we're facing are the miniaturization is enabling proliferation in spaces that you wouldn't otherwise expect, such as mobile labs, but also new applications, such as putting these things on cargo ships and measuring the bunker fuel. Yeah, so we're driving growth through organic means with new products and new partnerships, such as ones that publicly announced with Bosch, for example, but also by acquiring small companies that are in this space. And maybe these are companies that are excellent scientifically, but they don't know how to scale, they don't know how to raise money, And so we're bringing sort of our corporate infrastructure to bear on these companies, and then introducing synergies and innovation. One of the key aspects of this is making this type of MRI technology simple for non-technical users. So whether it's an image for radiology or some kind of complicated graphic that tells you how much CBD or THC is in a cannabis oil, it's things like a simple red light, green light, and so on and so forth. So that's an important sort of aspect of our software initiative to proliferate the use of this particular technique. Here's a look at our products that we're selling on the market right now. The ones on the left are the ones that we developed as our own startup company organically, and then the ones on the right are ones that we've acquired recently with our European acquisition. All of our technology is proprietary. We do all of our R&D right here in Calgary, and we have several patents that are granted in the United States and about 9 other jurisdictions. In addition to our patents granted, we have an impressive suite of trade secrets and proprietary hardware, firmware, and software. And also, just as importantly as our patents, is the proprietary manufacturing processes that we have. So, if you got a hold of one of our products in India or China, you took them apart, you had 5 PhDs that were smart enough to understand our patents, you still wouldn't be able to reverse engineer our products unless you knew exactly what we were doing inside our manufacturing facility. So here's a look at our management team, tremendous complementary skill sets here. As I mentioned, I'm the founder and CEO. By education, I have a master's degree in electrical engineering, but by profession, I'm a technology startup guy. So this is my 3rd tech startup. I spent my entire 27-year career on the business and finance side. We've got a tremendous CFO that's got a lot of M&A experience, and really just a fabulously talented team, mostly in Calgary, but a little bit in Europe as well. Complemented by a senior independent board of directors led by our chairman, Martin Burian. We've got tremendous M&A and investment banking experience. Berna Garner's the chairman of our audit committee, former CFO of a large NASDAQ-listed company. Guido Clotens is sort of the representative of our large and growing European investor base. And then Dr. Michael Okuniewski is a world-renowned scientist in our area. Here's a look at our cap table there. We have some warrants out there that are going to expire this June. They're at 75 cents. And then we've got options that are to employees, but no real cheap paper out there. If you look at our 50-cent trading price today, market cap of around 30 million or so. So really, that's the end of my presentation, other than just to emphasize that we have just a terrific team in Canada and Europe, and then some salespeople in the United States and so on. And we're really excited about our growth opportunities in the future. So that's the end of my presentation. Happy to answer any questions about our company.
Thank you, Sean. Excellent presentation. It's the first time I've received the presentation myself. When we first did that presentation for Indiva back in December, we only had 1 or 2 questions. So fast forward a couple months, and we had quite a few questions for Mr. Marotta earlier. So if anybody has any questions on Nanalysis, this is the time. We have about just over 15 minutes here until Digimax presents. If there aren't any questions, then we might just fly into Digimax, and we'll go from there.
All right. If there were questions, would I see them to the right of my screen right now?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. I'll maybe just, since none are coming up, I'll just mention a few more tidbits about our company. So
yeah, beautiful.
If you look at our sort of last 4 quarters that we've published, anyways, yearly revenue is about 8 million. And not giving guidance or anything, but we're really coming out of COVID here, and we think we have a tremendous opportunity for dramatic revenue growth in calendar year 2021. I may not have mentioned that our products right now are at gross margins of about 67%, and we think as as we produce more products and our manufacturing becomes more efficient, we can actually push that number higher. Yeah, the United States is our best market, but we are selling all over the world in over 45 countries. We've sold products, and we see it as a tremendous global opportunity. So, I mean, we have shown that in this for a small tech company, anyways, it not that common for M&A to be a key part of the strategy, but we have shown that we can do an acquisition. We can pay a reasonable price. We can make it accretive in terms of the multiples, and then we can fully integrate the acquired company into our operations, and then have that manifested in future growth. So we're confident we can continue to do that with our fabulous management team and our board guidance. So again, any type of questions would be appreciated, even if it's like, hey, what is your technology again? How is it the same as an MRI machine or anything like that? Be happy to do it either this time, or hopefully Neil and Bruce invite me back, and I'll be happy to answer any questions the next time. So thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, I think I just heard one question come in. There's one from Mr. Simone at the bottom of the question poll. Sorry, they're not in order, and I'll try and improve on that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see the questions, by the way. So if there are some, you need to read them to me or instruct me on how to see them.
Okay, on the question tab there.
Okay.
Questions, polls, people. I believe the question's at the bottom. Can you see that?
Yeah, so I'm reading. I think I'm going in the right order. So there's one from Dan Bowler. What's your cash position? Or is he saying what are our financing plans near term? I'll just answer both. So yeah, we're sitting on about $4.5 million of cash right now. We have no plans to do a financing in the near term. If you look at our stock chart, you'll see that before COVID hit, things, we had some momentum there, and things were looking really good. And then of course, like what happened to a lot of companies, so our plan is to sort of get our stock to where we think it's fairly valued, and then we do have some more acquisitions that we want to do. We've got four more that we want to accomplish as part of sort of our basic plan that we pitched to investors when we did when we went public a year and a half ago. And so those got stalled a little bit because of COVID, but they're still part of our plan. So once we can show a little bit more value to investors and get our stock to where we think it should be, then there might be a need to do a money raise specifically for at least one or two of the financing or the acquisitions that we have planned. So I think that was a question to me. So hopefully I answered it okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. It was on just at the bottom of the chat. So if you go on to the next tab that says questions, there's a couple questions just at the bottom, one from Stephen and one from Anthony.
Okay. So I see a question from Mike Giordano. Sorry, am I not looking at the right?
Yeah, it's just under the question tab.
Yeah, I'm on the question tab. Questions.
I'm not sure why you don't see it. Let me just. One disappeared on me. 1 second. Okay. This question is from Stephen. What is your potential TAM capitalized? Any catalysts for this year?
Yeah, so right now the market in our space is about $1 billion per year, but we think that's going to grow to close to $3 billion in the next sort of half decade or so, and that a lot of that growth is going to come from expanding the market. So that's how I would answer the question on our TAM. And then what's another question?
There's one just briefly touching on your share structure. How much is held in by insiders?
Yeah, about 30% insider ownership.
Great. What are the specific opportunities that you're looking to execute in 2021?
Yeah, so the
revenues, sorry.
Yeah, so we expect to announce, as I sort of alluded to, at least another acquisition, and then probably the most important thing for us is our most recent product has a huge sales backlog, and that's growing. And we've just started, we publicly announced that we've just started shipping on that. And so we really expect that to be the thing that provides like really dramatic revenue growth in the quarters to come. You'll also, I don't know if this person's been following some of our press releases on partnerships with Bosch and other entities, but we expect to have 2 or 3 strategic announcements in 2021 as well. And these are like real partnerships, not, like with money associated with them and things like that. So that's really what's in store for us in 2021. And we're really excited here, and we think investors are going to be excited as well.
Beautiful. You just answered the next question. So let me look for another one. I think that's it. Sorry, they're mixed up, and this is the new platform. They've put in like buttons to the side of the questions, so they're a little bit out of order, and I thought it was connected to date, but
All right.
Yeah, I think that's it, Sean. Thank you very much for the presentation. This will be available for anybody to replay, and I've put Matt Seller's information in the chat box. We will also send this presentation out post-event as well, and we'll have Sean on for sure to give us an update in a few months. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you.